Hello and welcome to our newscast. I'm Hwang Jie, live from Seoul. Our top story this morning, President Park Geun-hye will once again address the nation today at 10:30 a.m. local time. This comes 10 days after a previous address where she issued a public apology on the political scandal surrounding her close friend Choi Soon-sil. According to sources from the ruling Saenuri Party, the address this time is also widely expected to include an apology and the president's will to undergo investigation by state prosecutors. Pundits say she's also likely to give authority over running economics and social issues to the Prime Minister nominee Kim Byung-jun, while Park herself will focus more on foreign affairs. We'll bring you live coverage of the address later this morning. And as President Park Geun-hye is set to break her silence after her first apology, her choice for Prime Minister has spoken about his role in this time of crisis. Kim Byung-jun also dropped the bombshell that an investigation into the president is possible. Connie Kim reports.
Prime Minister nominee Kim Byung-jun said that he will do everything he can to fulfill the duties of the position should he become the country's next prime minister. At a press conference on Thursday, Kim confirmed speculation that the prime minister's role for the remainder of the Park Geun-hye administration will be the most expansive of any other administration in the nation's modern history.
The role of the prime minister, as stated in the constitution, is simple. The prime minister governs based on the orders of the president and controls state affairs. In addition, the prime minister will have the right to recommend and dismiss government officials, and much more.
Kim, who was a policymaker under the liberal Roh Moo-hyun administration, also said he will have authority over both social and economic policy. He also said he would seek to establish an open channel of communication in agreement with the political parties, and added he would consult with the parliament and the ruling and opposition parties on all issues, including a cabinet reshuffle. The statement appeared to be an attempt to ease the growing anger about the president's latest staff shakeup, which came in response to a growing political scandal involving her longtime confidant. Kim also said he is open to the possibility of an investigation into the president in the wake of the scandal.
All South Koreans, including the president, are equal under the law. I believe we could conduct an investigation into President Park, but we should be prudent about the investigation process as she is still the head of state.
President Park's longtime confidant is accused of abuses of power and embezzlement, and the scandal has drawn widespread public outrage. If Kim is confirmed to be the country's next prime minister, he's expected to have full control of domestic affairs, but his first task is to persuade the opposition parties to change their stated vow to boycott his confirmation hearing and work with him to govern the country. Connie Kim, ARIRANG News.
Moving on to the ongoing probe into the scandal, a Seoul court has issued an arrest warrant for Choi Soon-sil over allegations of abuse of authority and attempted fraud. This is expected to speed up the investigation into Choi, who's mired in a number of other criminal allegations as well. Oh Jung-hee reports.
Choi Soon-sil is arrested only 4 days after she returned to Korea from Germany. Seoul Central District Court decided late Thursday night to validate an arrest warrant for President Park Geun-hye's longtime confidant at the center of an ongoing abuse of power scandal. 2 charges, being an accomplice of former presidential secretary Ahn Jong-beom in abusing official authority and attempted fraud. Choi is accused of using her connections to the president to pressure conglomerates into making massive donations to 2 government-linked foundations and then funneling funds into a paper company for her own benefit. The court explained that Choi's crimes were approved and that it approved of the arrest warrant as there is a high possibility that she may flee or destroy evidence. From this point on, Choi will stay in a detention center and follow through with the warrant execution process. This comes after state prosecutors and Choi had a hearing session on Thursday. According to Choi's lawyer, there was an intense back and forth over whether Choi was an accomplice of former presidential secretary Ahn Jong-beom in the crime of abusing official authority. Choi teared up during the hearing and told the judge she is truly sorry for causing social confusion. Now that the court has approved the arrest warrant, prosecutors will be able to expedite the investigation. They could also move to charge Choi with other criminal offenses, including embezzlement, accessing presidential documents, and garnering favorable treatment for her daughter during her time at Ewha Women's University. 오정희, 아리랑 뉴스.
Staying with the probe, Korea's state prosecution will request an arrest warrant for Ahn Jong-beom, former presidential secretary for policy coordination, today. The prosecution put Ahn under emergency detention Wednesday night, saying he could try to destroy evidence if he was released. The prosecution has to decide whether to file an arrest warrant within 48 hours of detention. It's alleged Ahn forced local firms to donate huge amounts of money to Mir and K-Sports foundations, which Choi Soon-sil is believed to have established and operated. During questioning, Ahn reportedly said the president was directly involved in state affairs related to the cultural foundations. Despite the political scandal rocking the South, a top U.S. diplomat says its alliance with South Korea will continue to function effectively and deter threats from North Korea. Speaking at a Foreign Press Center briefing in Washington on Thursday, U.S. Assistant Secretary of State Daniel Russel said he has not seen any change in South Korea's national security lineup. Russell added there's no change to the timeline for the deployment of the THAAD missile defense system to South Korea, which is necessary to protect U.S. forces and military assets. He said the missile defense system is not a political pawn and is not intended as a threat to others, particularly not to China. And that wraps it up for now. Thank you for watching. Do join us again at 10 a.m. Korean time for more news updates, and goodbye.